187 Democratic delegates are at stake. Both candidates predict no matter the outcome today, the battle for the Democratic nomination will go on for at least another month. Joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina, is our political analyst, Mark Curtis. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Ross.
Listen, we've been talking a lot this week here on the West Coast about this idea of a gas tax holiday. How's that flying with North Carolina voters?
I tell you what, it's playing very well. Barack Obama can call this a political stunt or a gimmick or a shell game all he wants. But I've been at rallies where Bill Clinton was leading the charge, or in one where Hillary Clinton was there. The gas tax plays very well, cutting it for the summer months. Now, I realize there have been studies that say it's only going to save the average motorist $28 per month. But I talked to a mother of two in High Point yesterday, and she said $28 with the price of eggs and milk and bread going up at the grocery store because of the high cost of fuel. $28 means a lot to her, and so people are really for it.
You were talking about some of the rallies you've been to. Bill Clinton is being good back there, for what I understand. People are enjoying him, and he's not saying anything inflammatory.
Well, once again, like in Texas, he's been like the Energizer Bunny. He had about a dozen rallies on Sunday, another 6 or 8 yesterday. He's out campaigning this morning. I'm going to head to one of his rallies right after we're done here. And he's mostly in rural areas. Now, you go back to the comments Barack Obama made about people in rural areas of this country being bitter and clutching their guns and Bibles. That offended a lot of people. Remember that Bill Clinton is the only Southerner in this race, so to speak, out there stumping for his wife, and a lot of people in the South really like Bill Clinton. So he's been working the rural areas and doing so very effectively. In fact, they've closed the gap here in North Carolina. Hillary Clinton has an outside chance of winning this primary in North Carolina today.
Going into these the two primaries, it was going to be like Hillary Clinton winning Indiana, Barack Obama in North Carolina. How are the polls looking this morning?
They're getting tighter in both states, but if I was a betting man, I would say Obama will still win North Carolina and Hillary Clinton will win Indiana. They split the difference. They go on for another month. But if one candidate pulls an upset and wins both primaries tonight, I think that candidate will be the nominee. So if Hillary Clinton loses both, I mean, I can't imagine a scenario where she could really stay in this race. But if she wins both tonight, she has the momentum. Even though Obama will still have the most delegates, she would have the momentum, I think, to capture the nomination.
Yeah. Have you talked to anybody there about the possibility of a joint ticket as it gets closer and this whole thing kind of comes down to an end, that possibility?
Boy, talk about an idea that has cooled. I've talked to people at Clinton rallies and people at Obama rallies, and when I broached the subject of, well, what do you think about this joint ticket, no matter who's on top or who's the running mate, what do you think of that? I get not even a lukewarm response. People just dumping cold water on it. Tells you how much bitterness and anger there is now between the two camps. There's no love lost between the Clinton campaign and the Obama campaign at this hour. That's not to say they can't patch it up. I mean, John Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson didn't like each other either, and look what they did in 1960. But right now, this idea of a joint ticket is not playing well, at least in North Carolina.
So where are you off to now?
Well, I'm going to Lexington. It's a small town between here and Raleigh, and there's a big barbecue there. Bill Clinton will be there, and then tonight in Raleigh is where Barack Obama will theoretically give his victory speech, in fact, if he in fact pulls out North Carolina. So I'm going up to Raleigh. That's about 3 hours from here. So it's going to be pretty exciting, but you know, we're expecting a record turnout today. The weather is beautiful in North Carolina. It should be quite a showdown.
All right. Have a safe travel there. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Russ.
Time now is 7:48. Let's go over to Frank and Tori.